Hello again. Welcome to QUARANVINO. I'm Annie Shapero, certified sommelier and the founder of DiVino, a wine education and consulting company located here in New York City. You might recognize me from my series, 21 Days to Wine, a free 21-episode introduction to wine tasting with me, Annie Shapero, certified sommelier and wine consultant. It's completely free right here on my channel, so if you plan to be home for the next couple weeks, now is a great time to check it out. I try to keep the series interactive, and I'm always here to respond to your comments, questions, and wine stories, so don't hesitate to play along. Also, I'm not leaving the house anytime soon, so I'm all yours. Hey Mom. Yeah, you can use any Chianti Classico. Just try to get the same vintage. Love you. See, all yours. But back to QUARANVINO. It's been really fun to watch my wine industry friends getting creative on the internet while we're all on lockdown or in quarantine in different parts of the world, and we can't be together. Wine is meant to be enjoyed in company. It's a social ritual. And in my opinion, the best part of wine tasting is the shared multisensory experience. When you engage your senses and you start to share and compare colors and scents and flavors and memories, there is no end to the conversation. Wine also has the power to transport you. Don't believe me? It can be as simple as thinking about lying by the pool last summer while sipping on a Provençal Rosé, or as complex as opening an old Bordeaux and letting it open up for hours and hours and sipping it a little at a time. Each taste takes you back to that winery you visited years and years ago. There's a special pleasure in familiarity, like your favorite couch, or running into an old childhood friend after years and years on the street, that overflowing feeling of genuine affection and joy. Opening up your favorite bottle of wine can make you feel that way too. It's called Terroir for the wine nerds. I even dedicated an entire episode of my series to the concept. Day 16, definition of terroir, check it out. So, since we're all shuttered inside, the idea that a few sips of wine can take you somewhere else is really appealing. Today, I opened a bottle that I've been saving for a special occasion. That means all of you watching are very special. In solidarity with our Italian friends in the northern region of Lombardia, I am drinking a Valtellina Superiore. It's 10 years old, a 2010 vintage, so I opened it up a couple hours ago to give it plenty of time to breathe and come back to life. Valtellina is a steep, mountainous wine-producing region on the border of Italy and Switzerland. Valtellina Superiore wines come from 5 cru hillside vineyards where the highest quality of grapes are believed to grow. This wine comes from Cru Valgella, a cru that is known to produce more delicate aromas and flavors in general. This wine is called Costa Bassa. It grows on the southern part of a sunny, south-facing hillside vineyard. The soil is also very sandy, which gives the wine a rounder, fruitier quality. Valtellina Superiore is made with a local clone of the Nebbiolo grape. Here in Valtellina, it's called CHIAVENNASCA, but it shares many of the same characteristics that make Nebbiolo so fascinating. The wines have a relatively sleek body and an almost transparent rusty red color. At the same time, they can develop incredibly intense and complex aromas, bursting black cherry, fennel, mint, tar, licorice, and roses. This wine comes from Azienda Sandro. It's a small family operation started by Sandro in the 70s and now run by his daughter Elena and his son Marco. This winery has a very special place in my heart, for a few reasons. I first discovered Sandro while visiting wineries with my best friend Marcello, who, by the way, developed a little crush on Elena that day. Then I sold this wine in New York City for 5 years, and during that time I had the opportunity to get to know Marco, the winemaker, a little bit better on sales calls with my clients. Let me tell you, everybody had a crush on Marco. But most of all, people fall in love with the wine. I took another best friend of mine, Maureen, to visit the winery a few years ago. We took the train 2 hours from Milan to go. She brought her goddess tarot cards to pass the time. We were greeted like long-lost family members, and we will never forget every detail of the lunch and wine tasting we had, overlooking the vineyards while a cool rain fell outside. So, Valtellina Superiore, Valgella 2010. It has a transparent garnet red color with some rusty hues around the edges. The nose is intense yet delicate, almost restrained, as if it blew in on a mountain breeze. There's a coolness and a darkness to the black cherry, and that quintessential purple-black quality you get in Nebbiolo. Think black licorice, but rounder. The wine was aged for about 1 year in medium-sized oak barrels, but just to give it some plushness, no oaky notes. On the palate, the wine is silky and yet incredibly fresh, which is a typical quality of Nebbiolo-based wines that makes them so fascinating. Imagine biting into the top of a strawberry. All of that zing, minus the sting. Does that make sense? Anyway, this is the wine I chose for today's QUARANVINO, and it is definitely taking me somewhere. Let me know in the comments what you're drinking and where it's taking you. Better yet, make your own QUARANVINO video and send it to me. I'm Annie DiVino on Instagram. Don't forget to tag it, QUARANVINO. Anyway, happy travels, stay safe. Cheers.